Are you trapped here by the rain? I happen to be waiting for someone too. I am Chun-Li, your wayfinder. Don't worry, the rain won't last much longer. Our destination lies just beyond it. Rover, what do you know about Mount Firmament? There is a certain folk tale. Have you heard of it? While hiking in the mountains, a woodcutter came upon two people playing weiqi and became enthralled with their game. Upon his return home, he found a world transformed. Everything was different, as if in a new reality. That mountain was a secret realm where time worked differently. The woodcutter only spent half a day inside, but outside, a century had passed. Mount Firmament is such a place, but unlike this folktale, there is a price to pay for entering and exiting its grounds. If I spend a full day in the mountains, 10 days will be taken off my lifespan upon my leaving, reflecting the actual time that is passed outside. Not to mention, the situation on Mount Firmament right now is probably even more common. The strange time patterns of Mount Firmament are tied to the Sentinel's temporal mandate. Time ebbs and flows at its will. If the Fraxidus really has... Lifespan is not the top of my concerns. If you've decided to venture there, I'll join you as your wayfinder. Jinzhou has stayed on Mount Firmament for too long. She doesn't miss a thing, does she? Before Jinzhou left for Mount Firmament, scales began appearing on her body, and her resonance ability was weakening. Those signs pointed to a dire situation for the Sentinel as well. That's why I must lead you there. You might have the key to solving our dilemma. You're here because I invited you. Sanhua was instructed to disclose my whereabouts. From what I understand, there is a strong link between you and the Sentinel. More importantly, you've been the primary. That overseer tried everything to sway you and make you join their side before our battle with the reviving Throne. It's a clear sign that your involvement could disrupt their plans. Records at the Grand Library tell a tale. They were also said, and here before me stands someone who bears an uncanny resemblance to that very individual. Is it you? If not you, who else could it be? It took me some effort to finally reach this conclusion. Rover, the journey ahead is filled with danger at every turn. Once we venture into the mountains, there's no... As your wayfinder, I'll lead you to your destination. What you do after that is entirely up to you. The rain is subsiding, and the sky will soon clear. It's time for us to head out. The bridge has broken. Judging by its design and intricate details, it must be a creation of the court. This is what they call a chronosorter. It mimics the Sentinel's temporal mandate, able to reverse small-scale events and restore objects to their previous state. My master once told me about the court of Savante and their fearless quest to unravel the mysteries of Mount Firmament, risking all in their pursuit of understanding its strange flow of time. Their dedication bore fruit in the form of fascinating inventions, such as this chronosorter. But it doesn't add up. Why hasn't this brilliant invention spread beyond Mount Firmament? This chronosorter was built beyond the temporal barrier, so its creator must have already paid the... But even if they died, there are countless other CSC members who could replicate it. How did... Or do these chronosorters stop functioning once they are removed from Mount Firmament? This chronosorter, weathered though it may appear, bears no signs of neglect. Someone has tended to it diligently. Let's give it a try. It's the photon barrier, another invention from the court of Savante. Specific steps must be followed to undo the barrier. Rover, I'll guide you.
So it can't hurt me.
Time on Mount Firmament used to simply flow slower than in the outside world. Visitors were safe as long as they remained within the temporal barrier. But what we're seeing now is different. The flow of time has gone haywire. This is what we call temporal disruptions. What was once slow and steady has become chaotic and turbulent. Some areas are frozen in time, while others speed up or slow down unpredictably. No one knows how much they'll age after leaving Mount Firmament, but aging from youth to old age may be a blessing compared to the unknown fate that awaits. Leaving Mount Firmament could turn any mortal to dust in just a moment. These poor creatures, trapped in the temporal disruption, are the most pitiful of all. Their bodies and minds have been ravaged by the chaotic. So, it looks like the Fraxidus did manage to capture our sentinel. I had wished that my theories would turn out wrong. As expected, my terminal isn't working. We can't reach Jinzhou. The temporal disruption is preventing it from functioning. We can't waste a moment. Jinzhou's fate isn't the only one at stake. All the inhabitants of Mount Firmament are in danger. We need to hurry to Hongzhen, a town nestled at the heart of Mount Firmament. Jinzhou would likely pass through there on her search for the Sentinel.
This.
Must be Jinzhou. Using her resonance ability too much would only worsen, but she must have had a reason.
Relax, there are honored guests. No need to be tense. In a single day, we've greeted both the Magistrate of Jinzhou and her trusted counselor in Hongzhen. I can only assume something significant happened. It's been a while, Changli.
I heard you stepped down from your position and moved to the countryside. And now here we are, meeting again after all this time, in such
For years I lived secluded, no longer concerning myself with the matters beyond Hongzhen. But the current situation in Jinzhou is volatile. It has reunited us in an unpredictable moment. And you, young sir? What shall I call you? My name is Xinyi. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Please follow me this way. It's not safe to talk here. The magistrate left Hongzhen about 15 minutes ago. She should be at the Truth Seeker's Pass now. That's what they call it in Hongzhen. You might know it better as the ruins of a Court of Savante facility.
Lady Xingyi, please elaborate.
Madam Magistrate, are you...
I'm fine. How's the situation? Have we evacuated all the civilians?
Yes. Remaining civilians have been counted and escorted to safety.
Good. These hidden chambers should provide some much-needed shelter for them to rest a little. Despite being the Sentinel's appointed resonator, I haven't been able to sense its presence for some time now. I can feel my resonance ability waning, and I get my power from the Sentinel. This can only mean one thing. The Sentinel's condition is getting worse. Lady Xingyi, I need to know where the Sentinel was last seen. I can only fix the temporal disruption within a confined radius. It's already pushing my limits to keep this small pocket of space secure. Mount Firmament is in serious trouble, and we can't waste any more time. We need our Sentinel to stabilize.
The Sentinel was last seen flying towards Mianlung Chamber, where it would normally rest. The Fraxidus likely swarmed it soon after. But little did they know, we had a defense system in place, built with the help of the court of Savante. It was reactivated as soon as our sentinel made it back in. This mechanism has allowed us to locate their... To get inside Mianlung Chamber, we have to find the cipher key in Truth Seeker's Pass and unseal it with the Keyforge.
Understood. I will go bring back the cipher key.
You are injured. Please, rest and leave it to me.
The Fraxidus will most likely attack this place once I leave. You must stay here and guard it. I implore you, Xingyi. Help me keep our people safe.
Yes, I will, Madam Magistrate.
Before I headed to Mount Firmament, the Fraxidus revealed a prophecy from our sentinel. A fateful clash between the sentinel and myself that would shape the fate of our city. I never intended to believe their baseless claims, but I was not surprised to hear it. The sentinel had told me long ago that there would come a day when I surpass it in power. Once we save the sentinel from danger, I intend to have a serious conversation with it about this prophecy.
And then she left.
There's still one thing that doesn't add up. How did the Fraxidus kidnap our sentinel? The Mianlong Chamber was once renovated by the court of Savante. Do you think their research could be involved somehow?
I'll look into what you said. But once we have the cipher key, the Mianlung Chamber will be left vulnerable to the Fraxidus' potential retaliation.
We must keep them at bay. Rover and I are headed to the Truth Seeker's Pass to meet up with Jingxi. We'll distract the Fraxidus' main forces, giving you an opportunity to stage your ambush.
And the locals will handle the rest. I will send some men to open up the side exit for you. Head south and keep walking a couple of minutes, and you will see the Truth Seeker's Pass downstream.
Thank you, Lady Xingyi. Please, leave it to us.
In this place she was born, and in this place she returns. Our magistrate's fate is bound to Mount Firmament.
Yes, we still need the other 2 flare stones to open it. Wait, the blood and scales here. It's Jinzhou. She is likely teetering on the edge of overclocking. We are sustained severe injury with one of the temporal programs lost.
So the Sentinel protected Hongjin with its power. But it couldn't return things back to normal.
It would seem so. According to their theories, the Sentinel's injury would worsen over time. And if the Sentinel perishes, the temporal disruptions will... So the Fraxidus just added a pinch of salt to the already gaping wounds on... There's nothing we can do. Only the Mianlong Chamber can provide temporary relief for the Sentinel, but it won't heal. In the end, the Sentinel and a peculiar... The Sentinel couldn't... Their experiments result... No. A chronosorter can only rewind time within a narrow range. It's no... We are getting closer and closer to the truth. 2 more flare stones left. Everything aside, first we must find... So this file confirms that the chronosorters are artificial resonance objects. They activate when hit with a strong impact to create the corresponding resonance effects. And this also answers my previous question. No, it was nowhere near enough. The chronosorters shut down once they are removed from the Sentinel's range or the abnormal time flow on Mount Firmament. Plus, as artificial resonance objects, their capacity is limited. According to the Court of Savante researchers, there was a hypothesis that could potentially make them more, which states the collision between two resonating frequencies might cause a second resonance awakening. Yes, that fight has to happen to trigger a second resonance awakening for Jinzhou, so she may exert even. Countless chronosorters were made to collide with the Sentinel's frequencies, but they were no match. One chronosorter briefly showed the power to restore time before breaking apart. This proved that the research log mentioned that all chronosorters were working in an overdrive mode. It's similar to how human resonators overclocking happens when a resonator... No, it's not. In addition, I noticed another detail in these records. The chronosorters required manual control. In the only incident of success, and the Sentinel successfully transferred some kind of... Rover, do you have an idea? Don't worry. Rover is special. The temporal disruption can't hurt him.
But Changli, you're...
Shh. I gave my word to be your pawn, and I intend to keep it. As your teacher and courtier, it is only right for me to do so. And let's not forget, without me playing the Wayfinder for Rover, we wouldn't even have him here. Rover has a strong connection to this place. You need his help to resolve Mount Firmament's crisis.
But we already owe Rover a lot. Thank you, Rover. Rover, I will do everything I can to rescue the Sentinel as soon as possible. Then we can finally talk to it in person. It will surely have the answers you want.
Let's cut to the chase. What did you find in Truthseeker's past, Jinzhou?
According to the Court of Savante's records, the Sentinel was already injured upon its arrival at Mount Firmament. As time passed and its condition worsened, the flow of time became unstable here, causing temporal disruptions that could potentially threaten Jinzhou. Only the Sentinel's appointed resonator can restore its temporal mandate. Their records indicate a solution. To reverse the rapid aging effect from temporal disruptions, I must deliberately collide with the
Let's say you can achieve all that, but Jinzhou, do you understand what is at stake for yourself?
I share a resonance connection with Jue, but I never... Sentinel Jue has been guiding us since the city's founding with its wise words and well-crafted decisions. The temporal disruptions we face, without the Sentinel blocking out tacit discords through its time manipulation power, Jinzhou would be a barren wasteland today.
So what do you plan to do, if the Sentinel's condition is indeed incurable? No, today it's Mount Firmament, but tomorrow it could be all of Jinzhou.
If it truly comes down to that, I'll fulfill Jue's prophecy myself. It's the only way to save Mount Firmament, protect Jinzhou, and help the Sentinel.
Have you thought about the consequences, Jinshi? Trying to trigger a second awakening by fighting the Sentinel, it could make you overclock at any moment. We both know what that means. You could lose your mind forever, or even disintegrate into dust. You don't want to end up like those Chronos. On top of that, do you honestly believe you can fight in your current condition? I can see right through your facade, Jinshi. You're essentially committing suicide at this point.
You're one to talk, my teacher. I learn from the best. When have you ever backed down from risking your life for what you believe in?
Oh? I don't remember ever teaching you that. We all die eventually, but we need to stay alive as long as we can to achieve more. Jinshi, you must live and inherit the Sentinel's power. Then you can save and protect these people for years to come.
Changli.
Jinshi, I don't intend to stop you. I know you've made up your mind. That's why I brought Rover here. You may have already guessed it. Rover is indeed the hero who fought by our Sentinel's side during Jinzhou's early days. He is also the mysterious visitor spoken of in tales about Mount Firmament. All evidence we've gathered points to this being true. If anyone can help us with the situation at Mount Firmament, it must be Rover.
Thank you, my teacher. Jingxi will keep your words in mind.
Lastly, we still don't know for sure how the Fraxidus is keeping our Sentinel trapped. This will determine if you can actually meet it face to face. Yes, it could be any of these scenarios. Lady Xingyi is already on the case. We should get an answer soon. The cipher key should be inside the stone chamber behind its entrance gate. There is one more flare stone to work out. Let's get moving. Rover, take good care of the cipher key. I'm leaving the rest to you and Jinzhou. Please don't forget, I am your wayfinder. I journeyed with you into the mountains to ensure you meet up with Jinzhou. From this point onward, I will be counting on you both to go and confront the Sentinel. This is all I can do for you. I'm here to guide, not intervene. The path is yours to choose. Not to mention, the Fraxidus has been pestering us non-stop. You'll need someone to keep them at bay. Yes, they've been constantly watching you, interested in your By all means, please carry on without me. I have a more fitting location to make my contributions from. Oh, speak of the devils. How rude. This is not how we greet people here. Allow me to demonstrate the proper etiquette.
The Mianlun chamber is open now. You can proceed inside. Before you go, there's something important I need to tell you. Changli was right. They used the Court of Cervantes' research to trap our sentinel in its resting chamber. They used the chronosorters. Our captured artificer revealed that the Fraxidus sent a death squad to invade Mount Firmament. They, first, to place the chronosorter in the Mianlun chamber while it was still operational, and second, to lure the sentinel back to Mount Firmament. Although their death squad was no match for the sentinel, by forcing its hand, the powerful resonance ability of the sentinel would clash with the energy of the chronosorter. This would ultimately cause harm to itself. What if the Fraxidus modified those chronosorters? A whole bunch of them, pushed to their limits, all working together to deliver one massive blow. But not even that was enough to take down the Sentinel. After the first hit, they set up modified flare crests in the Mianlun chamber to form a special force field along. It prevented the Sentinel from replenishing energy, and eventually restricted its movement and perception.
So, we must free the Sentinel from that force field first.
It would be a task more complicated than it sounds. The people of Hongzhen have lived with the Sentinel for generations. We can usually tell if it's in good shape or not. But now, the Fraxidus want to capture the Sentinel. They won't just stop at Mount Firmament. Madam Magistrate, I'm sure you didn't come here just for the Sentinel. Please tell us what you know, Madam Magistrate.
Yes. I will tell you everything.
So the Sentinel is actually injured. And it's been getting worse. The Fraxidus attacked while it hasn't healed yet. Their plans are devious as always. Madam Magistrate, you've already laid out this plan, so it's always a challenge to decipher the Sentinel's intentions. But there were many... But now that I reflect on it, perhaps the Sentinel saw in you the potential to one day restore the temporal... I just never thought you'd be willing to follow through with that prophecy.
It was here on this very mountain. Back then I was too young to remember anything. Even the image of Mount Firmament has slipped from my mind. But this time, as soon as I stood at the base of Mount Firmament, Lady Xingyi, I was born with my life. But my duty as its appointed resonator is not the only reason for my decision. I'm following the heart of my younger self before I became Jinzhou. The girl... I am a seed, born on Mount Firmament, carried by the wind to every corner of Jinzhou. But now, I've returned. It's time for me to take root and grow into something greater.
No matter what happens, or what choices you make, please... Mount Firmament has been stagnant for eternity. Perhaps a sudden crack of lightning is what we need to break through the...
Side. But it's not responding.
A mother and her newborn child were hiding in ruins, trying to avoid the deadly creatures. They weren't safe for long, as the tacit discord found them. The mother sacrificed herself to protect her child. But with her gone, it was difficult for the newborn to survive. In a couple of minutes, its loud cries gradually died out. Fortunately, the newborn's cries echoed through the forest with a unique resonance that reached the ears of the mighty sentinel. With a burst of energy, our sentinel dispelled the surrounding evils. But sadly, it was too late. That night, Mount Firmament shook with the roars of a lung, and dark clouds gathered. The sentinel returned with a dead infant in its embrace. As if by magic, somber clouds parted, and shooting stars lit up the sky. With Mount Firmament's unique flow of time, the sentinel brought the deceased infant back to life. The resurrected infant became known as the
Sentinel's appointed resonator, and went on to become the magistrate of Jinzhou. Yes, it's me. I've lived in Jinzhou my whole life, and never ventured into Hongzhen. Yet even I know of the legend. To me, Jue is more than just our sentinel, or a revered divine being. It raised me. I've been thinking about it on our way here. If the sentinel predicted our fight, now I understand why. Because I am the sentinel's resonator. I may not have any. If Jinzhou ever faces a similar time crisis, I might be the only one who can set things right. In our sentinel's prediction, the battle between us is supposed to happen in the distant future. It had been waiting for an opportunity, a right moment to tell me the truth. That's what now may not be the opportunity the sentinel has been waiting for. But my body cannot hold up much longer. I have to go and face it while I still can. To learn about the truth, or complete our destined battle. Give up my duty. I never thought of. To be honest, I did doubt myself many times. It was the endless kindness of you, Cheng Li, Xing Yi, and everyone in Jinzhou. Even Jue's decision to bring me back to life. Whether out of pity or not, I am truly grateful. The thought of it warms my heart. Jinzhou holds everything that's dear to me. Even without the title of magistrate, I could never leave Jinzhou behind. I'm okay. The pain I'm feeling is nothing compared to those trapped in the temporal disruptions. I must find the Sentinel as soon as possible. We draw from... If there is truly no other option in the end, then I will have to fight it. I refuse to back down. I will fight. To protect the Sentinel and to defend Jinzhou. One life may be lost. If it means keeping everyone safe, then... But let me make one thing clear. I am not planning on dying yet. I am here to fight for a chance at survival, no matter how slim that chance may be. We're not in a situation where death is our only option, are we? Thank you for placing your trust in me. Come to think of it, many good things have happened to me since you arrived in Jinzhou. Thank you, Rover. My teacher Cheng-Li told me it's up to both of us to solve the crisis at Mount Firmament. As I know you have a special connection with our Sentinel, I need... But don't worry, I'm prepared. This isn't about succumbing to destiny. It's about... I am grateful to have you by my side through it.
Jinzhou, it has been quite some time. And greetings, Lord Arbiter. Or should one address you as Rover now? One cannot discern the cause of your arrival. Yet its significance heralds Jinzhou's fateful juncture. Shall a child who has lost their memories take up arms and fight for their fate? Or shall they retreat to their cradle and slumber? The seed of the future shall be sown in this very moment. Once the situation settles, an explanation shall be provided. For now, one must implore you to simply engage, decide, and observe. Jinzhou, your journey has been an arduous one. Aside from aiding one in this predicament, surely there are other inquiries you wish to make.
I cannot bring myself to ask for more. All I seek is the truth. Mount Firmament is in grave danger. Regarding the temporal mandate and your injuries, please do not keep the truth from me any longer.
One understands your concerns. The timing may not be optimal for this disclosure, yet in the midst of crisis, one must act with expedience. For one will soon perish. One such as this, of immortal nature, is designed to endure for all time. Yet one suffered severe harm in ancient times. and now relies on the Mianlong chamber for survival. This is not the optimal solution. For a long time, one has had to use this chamber to replenish energy, hoping to delay the inevitable doom. Yet fate cannot be defied. The Fraxidas have conspired against this one. Now, the injury only worsens. The Mianlong chamber can no longer prolong one's life. Jinzhou. The city of Jinzhou will be no more. Ever since one descended upon Mount Firmament, using the power of temporal mandate to repel tacit discords, time has been in disarray within this location. Over the past millennia, one has defied the laws of nature and sustained Jinzhou at the cost of one's own life force. Otherwise, the temporal disruption would wreak havoc not only on Mount Firmament, but on the entire region of Jinzhou. If this were to happen, all life will be engulfed in a chaotic storm of twisted time flow. Jinzhou shall forever remain frozen in time. The past and the future melt into one, rendering life indistinguishable from death. All inhabitants of Jinzhou shall endure this perpetual fate until time itself ceases to exist. It is this one's own doing, and one must put an end to it. In the coming days, one will exert every ounce of strength to freeze the time in Jinzhou at the cost of one's remaining life. In that moment, Jinzhou will fall into stillness, but not perish. In the distant...
Is there truly nothing else we can do?
This is not the optimal solution, but it suffices as an option.
Please, forgive me, but I cannot do as you say. A decade, a century. What if nobody comes up with a solution? By that time, the world will have turned its back on this forgotten city, and who would be willing to spend precious resources rescuing a small city in a far-off corner of the world? Jinzhou's fate deserves better than an uncertain future.
Whilst one may not live to witness the future, one can... Magistrate Jinzhou, as you express doubts, pray tell, how do you propose to solve this issue? The flow of time upon Mount Firmament is in disarray, and it can only be contained through one's utmost effort. If one does not freeze the time now, the situation in Jinzhou shall surely worsen 100-fold, or even 1,000-fold after one's passing.
You once predicted a destined battle between us. Is it true?
Correct.
I was lost at first, struggling to grasp the prophecy's meaning. Only when I learned of your actions alongside the court of Savante. By clashing two resonating powers, a second resonance awakening can be induced. Through this, I am able to push my resonance ability beyond its limits and invoke the temporal mandate to restore the flow of time. though I will be forced to raise my blade against you.
Ridiculous! If you clash with my resonance power, even the smallest mistake will result in overclocking and leave you nothing but an empty husk. You are well aware of its excruciating effects. The pain you feel now is, moreover, you will be trapped within the fissures of time itself. Your being will be relentlessly shredded and mended day after day, denied any respite for eternity.
But I can restore the errors in the flow of time. Isn't that why you saved me all those years ago? I'm just doing what you've been doing all along. Going against fate to keep Jin.
Jinzhou, you are given one last opportunity. Let me freeze the time, and I can ensure your safety. You are only here to witness before the right time arrives. But you are not compelled to remain idle. Should you intervene, you may command me to transfer my temporal mandate access to Jinzhou at the right moment. The moment of her resonance ability's depletion, when she is teetering on the brink of overclocking and near death. Then we may still save her life. Miss that moment by even the slightest margin, and Jinzhou's fate will be sealed.
I should have died a long time ago. But I was lucky enough to be saved by you, allowing me the chance to see the glittering lights of Jinzhou for myself. You rewinded time to save me. I am responsible. Jinzhou is my home. If it's ever in danger, I will do everything in my power to protect what I hold dear, even at the cost of my own life.
Such a valiant speech. Do you know the weight of this decision?
I understand your concerns. I will reach my second awakening with our destined confrontation and restore the time flow. Are you willing to bet on me?
Restore the time flow. Pray, from where does this confidence arise? You are my resonator, but your strength is only a fraction of mine. There is little chance for you to retreat unscathed.
But I can at least win some hope for our people. Even if it costs me my soul, my everything, I cannot die without trying. I may only bear your power for a fleeting moment. It's all I need to secure a better future for Jinzhou, defying all of your predictions, and I can keep you safe. If there is anyone who can face you in a fight, that person has to be your resonator. I will be your final winning move in this game.
Are you truly ready to challenge a being worshipped by your kind? Will you not regret it when you meet your bitter demise?
I will not regret it. No matter what.
Very well, Magistrate of Jinzhou. Come to the summit. Demonstrate your prowess. Show me how you shall be my triumphant ace. It's about your choice this time. Wherever the tides may take us, you will bear witness to our fight.
Government must be guided by virtue. Chi, do you keep this in mind?
Yes. Virtue must come first. Politics, commerce, it all must serve the people.
From now on, you shall be known as Jinshi, bearing Jinzhou's name as your own. What do you think of this world?
Like here. Darkness clings, but lights flicker in the gloom.
A guiding light, easily.
That's why they stand out so brightly against the darkness.
This entrance leads to one Sonoro sphere. Magistrate Jinshi, one shall await you there. Rover, this battle is related to the fate of Jinzhou, and only you can open this Sonoro sphere. The key...
If I open it, Jinshi is bound to face you in the ultimate battle. The ideal outcome would be for her to absorb your power at the critical moment and restore the time flow without any loss of life. But there's a chance that she could push herself too far and end up dying from overclocking. Though, if I do nothing, you'll use your remaining power to freeze all of Jinzhou in time.
Correct. Now, please let us know your choice.
Rover. I understand. I have made up my mind since before I stepped foot on Mount Firmament. Leaving Jinzhou behind fills me with regret. Knowing I may never again bask in its glorious sunshine, or witness the purity of its snowflakes. But that's why I'm here. To ensure that others can still experience the wonders of nature. Our city has a rich history, with generations witnessing endless sunrises and sunsets at the border. Our people have sacrificed their blood and tears to protect Huanglang's safety. They deserve a bright future. I want to protect Jinzhou in my own way. As Jinshi, as a citizen of Jinzhou, and as Jinzhou's magistrate. Let's begin.
Jinshi has recovered. One will soon send her back to Jinzhou for recuperation. Please do not worry. With all matters resolved, as per the agreement, it is time for one to address you. One is prepared to answer any inquiries you may have. I am Jiwei the Sentinel, the guide of Jinzhou's civilization. You are my arbiter, and my former master. In bygone days, I stood by your side as you established Jinzhou City. You tasked me with safeguarding its prosperity. This one begs your pardon, for it is not all-knowing. All my knowledge came from you. One is prepared to answer any inquiries you may have. In the past, one was granted the key to that Sonoro sphere by your hand. You said you planned to participate in history, to make choices and witness the development of civil. One had previously requested for permission to transfer the temporal mandate to Jinshi, as that is how one is designed to function. Every ounce of my existence, from life to death, and even the passing on of power, is subject to your approval. One is prepared to answer any inquiries you... Since Jinshi has inherited my power, the temporal Jinshi has fully assumed the mantle of leadership. From this day forth, one shall only offer aid when it... This situation has been analyzed before, but the number of variables made reaching a safe conclusion impossible. To accomplish her goal, Jinshi must possess both strength and confidence. Revealing the truth to her earlier would only add to her troubles. Today was not the ideal moment for our destined battle to unfold, but the Fraxidus has remarkably escalated its arrival. One is prepared to answer any... The flow of time on Mount Firmament has been restored to its natural pace, but the citizens of Hongzhen must still contend with shortened lifespans. Fortunately, with Jinshi's resonance ability, they can stay safe as long as they remain on the mountain. For lack of a better solution, this is the best we can do. Through countless ages, the imposing Mount Firmament stood firm against the storms. But as spring brings thunder and change, one feels a spark of transformation in the air. The people of Hongzhen have a bright future ahead. One that can be steered in the right direction within mere days with proper leadership. One is prepared to answer. Your tacit, Mark. There is something unusual.
What? What's wrong? Rover, who's bullying you? Huh? Is it you, big thing? Huh? How dare you? I'm gonna teach you a Wait, pause! I don't think it has any bad intentions. It smells like the unnatural smell I smelled in Jinzhou before. Oh, so you must be that sentinel. Why didn't you wake me up earlier? I got a feeling I missed out on a lot of fun.
It does feel similar to me, but there is some difference. This entity is unfamiliar to me. As it resides within your tacit mark, one can only assume you granted it access intentionally. Lord Arbiter, have you heard of the Black Shores? The Black Shores is the starting point of your journey in this world. If you have doubts, this one suggests a visit to that island. Worry not. The wuthering waves ebb and flow. They shall send you back to where you belong.